Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Raw Recap. It's the Drip King, Jimmy Bay. I am here, brought to you by Wrestle Buddy. As always, forgive me tonight if I'm a little bit groggy. I'm a little bit slow. I have been up way too long, and unless you've been living on a rock, you understand the reason. It was a very, very, very long week of wrestling, and it was a very, very, very big news day today in the world of wrestling. So, a little groggy. I'm gonna get through the show though. Tonight it was I like to call these a hangover shows. It's looking good. Thank you, babe. Thank you, babe. Looking good as well. Can't wait to be done. Get back to my baby. Anyways, so yes, this is what I like to call a hangover show. We had a great Saturday show. I still haven't caught up on the NXT, but from what I have seen, really good. From what I have heard, really good. All Out last night. It started slow, got good towards the end, and then, as you know, shit just went crazy. So coming into Raw, I was like, man, they're going to have to really do something to pull me in, and there wasn't a whole lot. But I feel like it was good enough to keep me interested. Just nothing to like make me go, damn, that's really good. But enough of that. We're going to jump into the show. It starts right out the gate with Edge. If you don't know, Edge got a kick to the Golden Nuggets at Clash of the Castle by none other than Dominic. So he come out tonight and immediately was like, yo, Dom, get your butt out here now. We are a family. I stay at your crib, at your daddy's crib whenever I'm in San Diego. I used to play games with you when you was a little kid. I'm the one that got you to calm down for your first match in front of a live crowd, and this is how you're doing me. I don't like that. I'm about to address this. Get out here right now. Out comes Rey Mysterio Jr., and he goes, look, I'm apologizing on behalf of my son. He's my son. You need to understand. Good stuff here. Then out comes Rhea. And no, prior to that, Edge says, you know what? He's old enough to drink. He's old enough to do this. So he's old enough to get in this ring and face the repercussions like a man. I'm going to whoop his booty. From there, Rhea comes out and she says, yo, this ain't happening. Dom ain't coming out there to be with you. Dom is going to do as I say. He don't listen to you no more. He listens to Poppy. I love that Rhea's calling herself Poppy. It's hilarious. It's a nice little nod to, Poppy. But anyway, so after Rhea talks a little bit, Dom comes out. He's got his hair slicked back. He's dressed in all black. He already looks better in this part that he's playing. Already looks better. So they start coming to the ring, and you guessed, no, Ray told Edge, he goes, I don't want no part of this. That's my son. I want no part of this. So he goes to leave, stops, starts talking to Dom. Dom don't even look at him. Ray leaves. So they get close to the ring, and then you guessed it, you know what happens. Finn and Priest jump in the ring and start attacking Edge. Edge holding his own there for a minute, and then Dom comes in, chop blocks him. From there, Ray starts to come back out. Dom goes and stops him, and then when Ray tries to go past him, he pushes him back. Rhea hits him with a forearm, throws him into the steel steps. Then they go back in the ring, and then ends basically. They targeted Edge's leg here big time, and then they end it with a coup de grace on the chair on the Edge's knee. He sells that. Ray comes in. Judgment Day leaves, and he's just checking on Edge. Edge's like, my knee. So he's selling the knee injury here. I thought this was a way to write him off, but more on that a little bit later. So that was the opening segment. It lasted a good minute, but it wasn't slow. I actually saw this was like, this is a very good pace to start the show. We got ended. Yeah, that made me chuckle a little bit. In a good way, though, not in a bad way. So I like the pacing of this opening segment. And again, these are usually the ones that say, oh, okay, we're in for a good show. Anyways, from there, we go to the back, and Miz and Ciampa from early in the day is when they're walking into the arena. They're in the parking lot. Sarah Schreiber walks up on Miz. I'm getting good at getting these people's names. So she walks up, and Miz is like, I don't want to talk about it. And then Sarah's like, but what about the is I don't want to talk about it. I went home, I went on vacation, and now I'm here. I'm challenging Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship inside the steel cage because it belongs to me and I'm gonna take it. They start to walk away and they say, it's him. And they look over and there's a car flipped over. Not who they think it is, but yeah, in case you don't, you all know who it is if you read dirt sheets and all that. So from there, go to commercial break, come back. We got a 4-team not elimination, just a 4-team tag team number one contendership match. New Day doesn't make sense since they just lost to the Viking Raiders. Alpha Academy, Los Lotharios, and the Street Profits, which just lost to whatever. They can be in this match. New Day didn't make sense to me. I didn't like New Day being in this match. It just straight up did not make sense to me. So winner here gets to be the number one contender for the Usos tag team titles. So one thing I like about this match, I've always wondered in these matches, why don't a team tag just the other person in and then pin each other and they win? You're cheating the system. Why not do it? It just seems like a very Eddie Guerrero thing. I don't know if it's ever been done. I don't ever recall it being done, but I just think it's such a brilliant move. Well, thank you very much, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, because that's exactly what they tried to pull here, but everybody saw it coming. They attacked the ring, jumped them. A lot of action going on in this one. It's 8 men in the ring. Obviously, things are going to get crazy. And then at one point, Montez Ford hits the frog splash on Otis, but then Chad Gable comes in and puts him in the ankle lock, and then roar, however that song goes, out comes Braun Strowman. Crowd was way hotter for this than I thought they'd be. So props to them for bringing him back, because I thought I wasn't a fan of it, and I was like, why even bring him back? Fans pop for it. So it ain't about me, it's about everybody else. They liked it, I'm for it. Braun comes out and just destroys everybody. For whatever reason, Chad Gable just stood in the ring and waited. He's in, and when he got in, the crowd's going, and he's just like, shush, shush, shush. Loved it. I've loved the New Day, but man, I think the shtick is old at this point. I really want them to just go in a different direction with it. But I did like that move because why don't people do that? Like, it doesn't make sense. It seems like a very heel FTR move or back in the day Eddie Guerrero move. But back to the action. Braun Strowman comes out and he just destroys literally everybody. Nice choke slam. I've always wondered why he didn't utilize that more during his run before he got released, because I mean, he's a monster. He looks fantastic too, by the way. Like Braun Strowman, he looks fantastic now. Like, he's just ripped and shredded and just looks like, I don't want to run into this man. He will hurt you. He got a little bit overzealous and tripped on the outside when he went to do the whole run around the ring. No choo-choo train noises. That's a good sign. He puts Otis through the thing, slams Gable down, picks up D'Angelo Dawkins, power slams him through the announcer table, goes back in. They go to commercial break, and throughout the entire commercial break, they're doing picture-in-picture, and Braun Strowman is just beating the hell out of literally everybody in that match. And I'm like, damn, this is crazy. And I'm like, but is it no disqualification? Because at no point do we hear a bell ring. Come back, Braun Strowman's leaving, the refs are all doing this. I'm like, the match still going? No, it's not. He goes to the back, and then that was it. That was the match. There's no winner, no number one contender. It's good, because it shouldn't. That's not how it should have been handled. If the Viking Raiders aren't part of it, it doesn't make sense. And then after that, obviously, this is what happened next. Raquel and Aaliyah come out to defend their women's tag team championships. Against who, you might ask? Well, this one doesn't make sense either, because they're defending it against Nikki ASH and Doudrop, the girls who just lost on NXT to the NXT tag team champions. So why are they getting a tag team title match on Raw for the other ones? I don't get that. I understand they want to sit there and make sure the women's tag titles are staying relevant, because, what happened last time, they get them and then we don't see them, and then it's just treated like nonsense. They want to keep them on them. Number one contenders matches and have them just commentate. Just something simple like that. You don't have to have them defending against nonsense matches like this, Nikki and Doudrop. I will say I enjoyed it when it was Raquel and Doudrop. I think those two could have great feuds in the future. The chemistry, not completely there, but I think they could get there. I think they could be a big deal in the future as far as like a program feud, whatever you want to say, for the women's title, even on top of that. But obviously Raquel and Aaliyah win here. Raquel, she took Doudrop off the top and hit that modified one-handed power bomb slam on Doudrop for the win. Very impressive that she just literally carried her to the center of the ring to do it. That's impressive. Aaliyah continues to just ride them coattails. And yeah, that's that. So from there, we go to the backstage and we get Rey Mysterio, and he is mad. He goes, I won't put my hands on my son, but Judgment Day has to go. And I'm challenging either one of them. I want to get my hands on Finn or Damien. I thought he was about to say, I'll even hit Rhea. But no, he ain't going to do it. He's too good guy, Rey. And he just challenges Finn or Damien. And then that match is going to happen later. It's Damien Priest. They don't announce it. We just find out later. But that's who it ends up being. So commercial break, come back. Probably the moment of the night for me, the whole segment. I saw some people like, I stayed off the Twitter machine for most of the night tonight. But I did tune in every once in a while. And I saw some people being like, about this one. Is like, yo, chill out. Chill out. I don't think you understood it. So Theory comes out, and the whole time he is just selling that punch from Tyson Fury. Good on him. It was so good how he was selling that punch because he didn't have to. But the entire promo, which lasted like 6-7 minutes, he was selling that. And he was even fumbling over his words because he couldn't do this. He was getting mad at the audience. You're making my jaw hurt more. It was so well done by Austin Theory. He's interrupted by KO. Okay, because this is the interesting part right here. And I'll touch on it when I'm done with the whole segment here. He says something about he's got unfinished business with Roman Reigns with that Money in the Bank briefcase. Why? Why does Austin Theory have unfinished business with Roman Reigns? Again, I'll touch on that in a minute. This is the cue for, though, Kevin Owens to come out because he thinks Roman Reigns owes him one. He comes out and he starts running his mouth to Austin Theory as he comes down to the ring. He mentions the fact that Austin Theory has Austin as his name back. He goes, I can call you Austin. He talks about you got knocked out or you got KO'd. KO'd. Ha ha ha. Very funny. Anyway, so he gets in the ring and then he's just basically like, this is the part where a ref comes out to the ring. And then a ref comes out and he goes, this is the part where, no, it's me. We're going to fight. And then they get into a match. Great match. A great TV match. I'll put it that way. It started slow. It picked up the pace and Austin Theory literally hung with him. Prior to that, though, but I'm skipping ahead because I got excited about the match. Austin Theory went head-to-head with Kevin Owens on the microphone and did not feel out of place. I cannot explain to y'all, if you don't know, how crazy of an idea that is. If I would have told you this 6 months ago, you would have told me crazy, slapped me across the face, and I would have deserved it, rightfully so. I would have been like, yep, I was being silly. Tonight, he seemed like he belonged in that ring with Kevin Owens going toe-to-toe on the microphone with him, and it was fantastic. I loved it. I loved it. I know I keep seeing people say he's not ready. That boy is ready. There's only one way to find out the final test, and that's just push him and give him the chance. See if he's going to sink or swim because he's passed literally every test, and this match was just another sign of it. He's not getting the wins over these big names yet, but man, is he putting on some fantastic matches with him. I love the match. It was really good. Again, pacing. Austin Theory showing a very vicious side to him. The head slam into the steel steps was just sickening. And then to go right back after that neck and head when Kevin Owens got back in the ring. Vicious side of Austin Theory here. In the end, though, Kevin Owens, pop-up power bomb, stunner, 1, 2, 3. He gets the win. Rightfully so. But back to Austin Theory calling out Roman Reigns. When Austin Theory went to SmackDown and approached Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns laughing at this boy, he looked at Paul Heyman and says, yo, he needs a special counsel of his own. And Paul Heyman said, yep. Austin Theory now is saying that he has unfinished business with Roman Reigns. Those two are I've come up with this theory a long time ago, and I'm sticking with it because I keep seeing things that make it make sense. And this is just another one that makes it make sense. What unfinished business does he have with Roman Reigns? Every time he goes to cash in, something foils it. He's just doing it at the wrong time. What is a special counsel going to do? What is a Paul Heyman going to do? He's going to make him cash in at the right time. This pairing is going to happen. It's going to happen. I promise you. You heard it from me. I didn't see anybody. I was the first one to say it. I'll put it out there right now. I don't even know when I said it. I'll go back and look when it happens, and I'll make sure everyone knows I was the first one to say it's going to happen. I keep seeing these things. It's going to happen. Austin Theory is going to be with Paul Heyman when he cashes that title in. Probably going to be at WrestleMania at this point, but we will see. From there, though, go backstage. Miz and Ciampa are walking backstage. Sarah Schreiber walks up and she scares Miz. He's like, the definition of insanity is asking someone the same question over and over, thinking you're going to get different answers, Sarah. And she goes, I'm just asking about your match with Bobby Lashley. And he goes, I'm going to win, yada, yada, yada. Ciampa jumps in, yada, yada, yada. He's going to win. He's Miz in the cage. We're not going to worry. Blah, 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 blah. He won't beat Roman. He's going to beat Cody when Cody beats Roman. Boom. There you go. Mark it down, write it. I don't care what you say. Paul Heyman's going to be Austin Theory, and Austin Theory's going to be world champion by the end of WrestleMania, if not beforehand. I'm telling you right now. Back to the show. So that was that segment. It was nothing crazy, just more Miz paranoia stuff. From there, cut the Damage Control, and they're walking backstage like, whoa, what's the big deal with this? Okay, this is the big deal. I didn't catch it at first. I saw a clip of it later. In the background, you see Nikki ASH taking her mask off and throwing it at Doudrop. That tag team is officially, we don't know officially, seemingly done by what we saw in the background of Damage Control walking. This is the stuff I love about the backstage segments now, is that if you're not paying attention, you're missing very key elements. So you better be paying attention. If not, that's what I'm here for. Watch the show and I'll let you know what you missed out on. There you go. You're welcome very much. So that little detail is very interesting. It's going to be fun. Because Doudrop needs to not be with Nikki ASH. She needs to be a singles competitor. I definitely see her dropping the Doudrop name, and Nikki ASH needs to change her character, which I see that happening as well. Nikki Cross probably coming back, and I'm all for that as well. I've defended the Nikki ASH thing for a long time, but what's done is done. Let's move on. And now we'll move on with the show. So we go to commercial break, come back, and then Damage Control comes out to the ring. And Bayley's just bragging about how they beat him at Clash at the Castle. They're blah, blah, blah. Interrupted by Bianca. Bianca comes out and she starts running her mouth. She goes, it took all three of y'all to beat me, but I'll challenge you right now to a one-on-one match, Bayley. And Bayley goes, no. She goes, I don't need to beat you. And then they end up surrounding Bianca. Bianca looks a little worried. Then Bayley says, nope, let's go. They get out of the ring. And then Bayley, this is very interesting to me, and I love it. I love this little thing that Bayley is doing because it's different. She goes, I already beat you. I don't have to prove anything to you. I don't need that belt to know that I beat you. It's killing you, Bianca, that I pinned you. And now you're challenging me as the champion. You're challenging me because you feel like you have to rectify that loss that I gave you. I got bigger fish to fry, and that's these girls getting their tag. She's putting Io and Dakota on the same level as her, which is awesome. And she's saying this is a bigger deal than me getting that title because, again, I already beat you, and I it's not a thing to me. When I want that belt, I'll come get it, but I don't need it. So she's basically stating that what she is doing is far more important than that title, and I love it. I love it because it's different. She's not like, I have to have that title to prove that I'm the number one girl. No, she beat the number one girl, and she got the number one crew, and they're going to be tag team champions. It's going to be good. Dakota made sure to let everybody know I wasn't the legal girl last week when I got pinned, so we're coming to get those tag titles next week. That's happening next week. So that's segment. So very good segment there. So that's three segments tonight that were really good in ring, and then the rest was kind of just like dragging through the mud. But on with the show. Commercial break, come back. Johnny Gargano's talking backstage. He is quickly interrupted by Austin Theory, who starts talking nonsense to him. And then Theory goes, he says, you're here. You ain't doing nothing. Are we just going to call you Johnny Talking? Haha, good one, Theory. Anyway, Johnny Gargano says, but you interrupted me before I could tell you. Next week, I'm going to have my first match back after 9 months. So next week, we get a Johnny Gargano match. So as much as this week was, again, a hangover show, which it didn't seem like they put a whole lot of effort in. They provided a decent show, but they didn't put a whole lot of effort into it. They are really stacking the deck for next week to be like, hey, this week wasn't anything great. Next week we have a lot for you in store, so make sure you tune in. I like that. It's like they knew that there was going to be some fatigue after this long weekend of wrestling, and I'm okay with it. Don't give me something great when I'm already fatigued because I might not tune in anyway. So Give me just enough, good enough for this week, and that's what they got. I'm all for it. And again, next week is looking really good, and there's more on top of that. We'll get to it. So from there, we go to Ray versus Damian Priest. Damian Priest comes out alone, and this match goes back. It's very similar to the last one they had a few weeks ago. Damian is vicious with Ray. I love watching Damian Priest with these little guys because, man, he looks like a beast the way he just hurts these people. Halfway through the match, Ray's starting to get a little bit of momentum. Out comes Finn, Rhea, and Dom. Finn's got a chair in his hand. And then at one point, Ray's going for the 619, but when he bounces off the rope, comes back, Dom jumps up and stops him. Ray's like, what are you doing? And then he goes back and he takes out Finn, but then he turns around into Damian Priest just taking his head off with a lariat. Then he choke slams him. Damian Priest wins. That's the match. Afterwards, Rhea basically says, yo, we've taken out everybody, but now Dom is challenging Edge to a match next week. So Edge was, again, I thought he was being written off last week or earlier this in the night for foreseeable future. He's being challenged to a match next week against Dom. So as much as I wanted this feud to be done with after the clash, I'm very intrigued in the idea of a Dom versus a wounded Edge. Will Edge put over Dom? That's very intriguing to me, and I'm curious how this is what's going to go. And that's that. So there's, what is that? The tag title match next week for the Women's Tag Team Championships. You got Dom versus Edge, and then you have Johnny Gargano wrestling his first match back. And that's just the stuff they set up from this week for next week. So again, I think they're stacking next week up to be a great show. And that's that. Commercial, come back. Bobby Lashley is in the back. He cuts a promo on Miz. He's very, very generic, very just to let you know, like, hey, here's our United States champion, and he has a match tonight. In case you forgot, we've been building him up, and here he is. Decent enough, no big deal. What it is. They cut to Braun Strowman, who's leaving, and he says, what do you want? You just want to know that I'm back, and nobody's safe. I'll see you on SmackDown. That's I made it very simple for you guys. But that's what it is. So Braun Strowman, he's not on Raw. He just came out there to destroy people. He's going to be back on SmackDown. This will be interesting. Who is he going after on SmackDown? Is it Roman? I have a feeling Roman ain't going to be on the show. So I'm curious where this is going. I don't know. But I'm intrigued because that's just me. I'm intrigued because he came out and destroyed people. What's he going to do on SmackDown? Let me know. I'm going to tune in. From there, Seth and Riddle videos from after their match against each other at Clash of the Castle. They're not at tonight's show. They got a break. They've been busting their ass, and they had a hell of a match. So, yes, give them the night off. Basically, Riddle says, yo, I want a rematch, and I want it ASAP. And then Rollins says, ha, 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 the kid's got moxie, but I did what I said I was going to do. I smashed his head in the mat twice, and I'm pretty sure he said he's not going to get a rematch, which means he's definitely going to get a rematch. Extreme Rules, extreme match between these two. No DQ, no just street fight, whatever you want to call it. That's what I expect to see, and I'm all for it. They have a lot left to do with that feud. Now it's time for the main event. Miz comes down with Ciampa. Bobby Lashley comes down. Before the match even starts, Miz and Ciampa attack Bobby Lashley. They start slamming him into everything. They slam his arm into the post. They take steps and slam the steps in between. They sandwich his arm in between the new ring posts. It's not those the LED lights anymore. It's a straight steel post. They wedge his arm in there and then smack it with the steps. They're really looking to do some damage. They slam it on the table. They take a chair and they slam it on the ground. They put work in on Bobby Lashley. Cut the commercial, come back, and then Bobby Lashley's in the ring. Match starts. The match goes on. They got a good amount of time tonight for this match, for the main event. I get it. It's fine. Watching Miz in these matches is always funny to me because he is not taking the bumps the way we want to see these people take the bumps. He's very, very, very safe with it. Not knocking him. Do what you do, Miz. You've been in the business a long time. You know what you're doing. But, yeah, he's definitely taking these bumps very safely, especially in the cage. It's kind of funny to watch. In the end, Ciampa, he made sure Bobby couldn't climb over because he kept hitting the steel, hitting the side of the cage with a chair. At one point, Bobby goes to go out. Ciampa slams the cage in Bobby's head, but then Bobby slams it back into Ciampa's head. He goes down, but then Miz comes over, starts slamming the cage repeatedly on Bobby's head. Bobby basically passes out in front of the door, just like this, just like that. So Miz can't get out because Bobby's in the way, so he goes to climb over the cage. He's all happy. He's climbing over the cage. He gets to the top. He starts to go down, and then the camera shot goes over the cage and looks down, and then old Dexter is just laying on the mat looking up at Miz like this. And I laughed out. It was pretty funny the way it was. I expected that kind of thing to happen. I thought it was going to be at the cage door when Miz tried to get out, but they did it that way. It was funny. So Miz sees that and he immediately climbs back in the cage. Then Dexter gets up, distracts him. Miz turns around, spear, 1, 2, 3. That's the show. Or that's the match. Then Dexter starts climbing into the cage. Miz is just watching on in fear. Like, yo, run, Miz. What are you doing, bro? He doesn't. He just stares on. Dexter jumps down into the cage. Then Miz decides to try and get up. He goes over the door. Bobby Lashley shuts the door and says, nope, you stuck in there. And then Miz turns around and Dexter does this little side hug choke on Miz. Miz passes out. They go to the ground, and then he starts just stroking Miz's head like he's like a little teddy bear, baby doll, I don't know, something like that. And that's the end of the show. So, again, other than Braun Strowman showing up, which, again, was kind of spoiled days ago, there was nothing crazy about tonight. It was just a good show to end the just fatigued weekend because, man, that was a lot of wrestling this weekend. So I look forward to a much better show next week. And I look forward to coming back with a lot more energy next week because, man, I am tired. And if you're not tired, I don't know what's up with that. You must not have been, I don't know, you like a machine or something like. Get Dolph Ziggler again. You might not see Dolph Ziggler again. Like, he comes and goes. You should know this by now. He's not a mainstay on the show and all that. But, yeah, that's the show. So thank you for joining me. Based on how the shows have been and how it is tonight, Courtney's the only one that's not fatigued. We ain't got no. David said, I'm done. I'm not doing this no more. We got, the chat wasn't hopping tonight, but I get it. It was a lot of wrestling this week, and they probably wanted a break because, man, that was a lot. That was over 10 hours just on those 2 days, and that's not counting like Impact and TCW, and then tonight's Monday Night Raw. It was just so much wrestling. So hopefully next week we get the crowd back and the chat popping, everybody. But that's the show. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it very much. What is this? And it's very. I'm literally going to crack. I'm surprised I didn't pass out during this match, during the show, because I am like literally just. Ooh, I had to get the big boy Red Bull today to make sure I've made it through. And I've been up since like 3 a.m. because I had to do the CM Punk stuff after the presser. Oh yeah, I'm stumbling over words now. I'm repping him today because, man, he went through it today. That presser was wild. NXT tomorrow. Good luck to you. I'm not. I might just go to bed and not wake up until Wednesday morning at this point. But yeah, that's the show. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on Wednesday night for the Dynamite recap. And boy, oh boy, is that going to be a wild, wild show. So hopefully, but yeah, definitely is probably going to be a very wild show. So do not miss the weekly recap for Dynamite this week because there's going to be so much to talk about. So goodbye, everybody. Peace.